The Miami Dolphins are in a position to own the NFL draft, but they have to actually draft great players. I'm not trying to be flip or sound like Yogi here. Miami had 3 first-rounders last year. Other than Tua, can you name them? They have 2 this year, and I'm serious about the Bill O'Brien statue they should build outside the stadium. And the Laramie Tunsil trade is truly the gift that keeps on giving. Now, I appreciated the deals that General Manager Chris Greer made, going from 3 to 12 to 6, added future picks, can still grab a star now. But I kind of cringed with the Dolphins' reported interest in trading down again from 6. I mean, that can't happen. Take Kyle Pitts. If Pitts is gone, take Jamar Chase. We could talk about Sewell too, but really, take Kyle Pitts, take Jamar Chase. Miami needs studs, different makers, playmakers on offense to make Tua shine. I love the Will Fuller signing, and that's great, and Tua needs more. I still believe in Tua. Look, he's never going to be Justin Herbert, and that's a shame, and I begged the Dolphins to draft Justin Herbert, but they didn't, and I still think Tua is going to be really good. I firmly believe that. Remember when he told me on my SiriusXM radio show the week of the Super Bowl that his rookie season was below average? Honestly, I thought Tua was hard on himself. Look at the numbers on your screen. I thought his rookie season was normal. Highs and lows. It just wasn't Justin Herbert-esque. Now, get to a stud pass catcher and a stud running back. They need number 1 running back in this draft. Draft picks are nice. Winning is better. Buffalo's Super Bowl ready. New England's back. And at the end of the day, you don't want to be the Boston Celtics. Turn draft picks into winning. They can, and they must. Mike Tomlin got a 3-year contract extension this morning, so that means the Steelers coach under contract through the 2024 season. And the move itself, along with the timing, both very, very smart. Mike Tomlin has won 65% of his games. He's won a Super Bowl. He's won divisions. Now, I rightly get on Mike Tomlin for the letdown games, and the team isn't focused when they're favored by a touchdown against an inferior squad. And the fact that Pittsburgh hasn't won a playoff game in 5 years is absolutely noteworthy. But it's literally a notes on the board of goodness that we show you on television on Tomlin's resume. Look, if Mike Tomlin was ever let go, teams would fire their coach to hire him. That's the big picture perspective. The timing is smart because I have little hopes for the Steelers this year. I think the roster is dreadful. They desperately need a running back. They don't have a starting caliber running back on the roster. They need offensive line help. The defense lost significant key players in the offseason. Oh, by the way, Big Ben is shots. The Browns and Ravens are both better. This is a third-place team that has 9 wins max written all over it. But today's news means that Mike Tomlin is going to be in Pittsburgh for the post-Ben Roethlisberger transition. And that's smart. And Ben shouldn't be the Steelers quarterback now, but this has got to be it. Tomlin will be instrumental in finding and picking the next quarterback and eventually getting the playoff train back on the tracks, because another year is going to fly off the books where Pittsburgh is not going to win a playoff game. Tomlin has a borderline Hall of Fame resume. Stability, of course, is the Steelers' way of life. Pittsburgh needs that post-Ben Roethlisberger. And today's news ends any Mike Tomlin hot seat talk before the Steelers' rocky season even begins. Got to talk this out on a Tuesday. The team under the most pressure in the NFL draft is... Let's really talk this one out. I'm going to give you a list, my top 5. Starting with number 1, the Jets. And look, we know they're taking Zach Wilson, but listen, this is a lot of pressure for Joe Douglas because he had options. He could have kept Sam Darnold, and he could have decided to take, instead of Zach Wilson, he could have picked Pitts. He could have traded down, gotten 3-4 first-round picks. Think about what San Francisco gave up to get the number 3. Darnold's going to be outstanding in Carolina. Listen, I understand why he did it, because Wilson's now his quarterback. Saleh's now his head coach. So I think the Jets are under a ton of pressure. Number 2, New England. And if you don't believe me, go ask Bob Kraft. He said Bill Belichick needs to be better in the draft. And here's the deal. I thought the Patriots offseason was brilliant. I love the players. I love the contracts. I love the tight ends. I love Matt Judon. I absolutely love what they did, but they need a quarterback. If you neglect the quarterback in this draft, and that means one of those aforementioned top prospects or trade for Jimmy Garoppolo, if you don't get that done, the whole thing is a waste. Number 3, let's go with John Lynch, Kyle Shanahan, and the 49ers. Now, you know I believe Mac Jones is going to be the pick, and he should be the pick, and I will endorse and support Kyle and John trading up from 12 to 3 to get Mr. Mac Jones, who is ridiculously accurate and a big-time leader, and his teammates love him, and I think he'll be better than Jimmy Garoppolo. But they gave up a lot to go up and make sure they got their guy. Obviously, especially if it's Jones as opposed to Fields, and I think it's going to be, that's going to be a major talking point where I'll endorse it, but it better work on the field. Number 4, the Atlanta Falcons. Listen, I don't want to hear about this garbage about taking a quarterback. Do not Jordan Love my guy, Matt Ryan. Take Kyle Pitts and give Matt Ryan Kyle Pitts. What a concept. You have Arthur Smith. You have Terry Fontenot, new coach, new GM. Give them the best player in the draft. I mean, if you trade back, listen, I'll be open-minded to a trade. It better be a haul. Take Kyle Pitts. And number 5, I'm rolling with the Broncos here because you look at where they pick at 9th overall, and they need a quarterback. And there is a chance that Lance or Fields or Mac Jones there. I think at the end of the day that Jones is going 3, and we'll see what happens at 4. And if anyone trades up, maybe with Detroit. But if Drew Lock's the answer, I'd love to know the question. So they need to be aggressive. You know, they got a new general manager who I really respect, George Payton. And you know he's going to have to work it here in terms of trying to burn up the phones to move up. I think they've had a smart offseason, but they can't start the season with Drew Lock as the starting quarterback. What type of player can Trey Lance be in the NFL? Let's talk this out. I think Trey Lance eventually, down the road, is going to be great. The cannon of an arm was on display at his second pro day yesterday. I think that he has Carson Wentz during the MVP years or Josh Allen-like potential. But here's the deal when it comes to Trey Lance. Trey Lance, like Josh Allen when he was coming out of Wyoming, is going to need some time. Remember Josh Allen's rookie year, and now he's at an MVP level and ready to rock and roll? Listen, Trey Lance had 2 pro days. He only played in 1 football game last year. So if you draft him at the end of the day and you see weakness, experience, I wouldn't play him right away. But his athleticism is awesome. It's tremendous. His arm strength is excellent. He's super smart. I feel the same way about him. And again, I'm referencing big, strong-armed athletes who are coming out of small schools. Carson Wentz, Josh Allen, Trey Lance, and I'm talking about peak Carson Wentz. I think Trey Lance can absolutely play at that level. Listen, if he goes to a team like New England and he has some time, that's great. If he goes to San Francisco and they ask him to play this year, I think that's going to be a mess. Trey Lance, the best case scenario for him, doesn't start the season under center for an NFL team, but I want this on the record, and I've been very consistent on this. I think Trey Lance eventually, like Wentz, like Josh Allen, they are going to have, at the end of the day, Trey Lance is going to be great, and greatness is going to be on display. If you get Trey Lance with an organization, that's patience with the quarterback.